Alright gamers, today it's time to test your negotiating skills and play the game Bazaar. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is fairly easy. What you're going to do is you're going to choose from a whole stack of these place cards here. You can just shuffle them through and just pick out two like I did, lay them out like this. And then you're going to take the deck and you're going to deal stacks of 5 out on top of each one of these 4 cards, these little star cards that are at the bottom of each one. And you put 5 cards on top of each one, and then you're going to begin the game. Now, as players play the game, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to roll this die and determine who is the first player. And of course, the rule book tells you, hey, based on the color, it goes, let me see, star, white, blue, green, red, yellow. That just determines whoever rolls the highest of those in that descending order is the first player. Now, once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to roll this die, and you're going to pick whatever color stone pops up on here. Now, as you saw, there was a star on here. If it rolls up a star, you get to decide which color you want. And the box comes with these little stones here, the little nice little glass stones here, and you'll just pick any of these colors: red, blue, green, yellow, and white. And so what you're trying to do, of course, you're trying to match the gems that are shown on one of these 4 cards. Now, what you're going to do every turn, you're going to either be rolling this die or you're going to be trading on the market. If you see here, these jewels can be traded for different ones. So, for instance, a blue jewel can be placed here, and I will get 2 green out of the box. If I had a white, I'd get a green, a red, and a yellow, and vice versa. What if I have too many gems? If I had 2 yellows, a red, and a blue, that I could exchange them for a green and a white. So there's a lot of different trades you can make. You can either trade, or if you just want to get one die at a time, you can roll this. Now, it comes important because you cannot have more than 10 gems at one time. Now, at the end of your turn. Now, if you had like 15, that's fine. Hopefully, you're spending 5 of them to buy one of these cards. But after that, you want to make sure you have counted down to 15, because at any time, if you have more than 10 and another player catches you and says, hey, he has more than 10, that other player gets to decide what gems they want you to lose and go back into the board, the pit here of gems. So the thing is, you need to make sure that you are below 10 after your turn each time, because you definitely don't want to get caught. And what you're doing is you're trying to, of course, purchase these cards. And if you notice, some of these cards have stars on them, and that goes to the game scoring. The game gives you this little pad here where you can do your scoring here. And if you see here, it says 3 or more, 2, 1, 0. That's gemstones remaining in your hand after you have purchased a card. So for instance, let's say I was to place 5 blue stones on that, and I grab that card. How much would it be worth? Well, it depends on how many stones I have left in my hand. Let's say I have 0. I have 0, but this one has a star on it, so it's not 0, it's this. It would be worth 8 points. If I had 1 stone remaining, it'd be worth 5. 2, I'd have 3 points. And if I had 3 or more stones, it would only be worth 2 points, but at least I had the star. If it didn't have the star, it'd be worth 1. And you're thinking, 2 stars, what does that mean? Well, when something has 2 stars, the only time that there's no card that has 2 stars on it, but when one of these goes down to just the last card, at the bottom of these 5 cards is a 1-star card, and that's at the bottom of each stack here. So whichever stack gets put out first, when you have a star exposed, you can't purchase this here, but what you're going to do is it adds a star to all of the cards. So for instance, this one has a star now, this one has a star, and this one now has 2 stars. And as we saw on our board, 2 stars even score bigger. Now what you're going to be, now once a star is exposed, then you're going to deal out the other 25 cards in the deck. And they said you're going to make 2 stacks of 8 and 1 stack of 9. After that, you're going to keep playing until someone hits their target point sector, whichever it is, and the game lets you know from 2 players to 6 how many points you need to win. And that is Bazaar. Final thoughts, what do I think about this game? This is actually a very, very surprisingly fun strategic game. At first I was like, why wouldn't you just keep trading up and getting as many jewels as you can? Because you can only have 10, and sometimes if you have tons left over, you're going to get less points. So the point is you want to build up and trade when possible, and definitely trade down too. That's very helpful in the game. And because you want to have the least amount of stones, gemstones left over when you purchase a card to get those bonus points. Now I will say this, I think the game goes too long for the points they listed there. I would knock off about 10 points, okay, per tier. If it has, I think it says 50 points for 2 players, make it 40 points. Because the game does go a little long if you try to get to 50, especially when it's such a low scoring game. But other than that, the game is super fun. Now, this is just one of the many reprints there are out for this game. I have no idea. There is a newer one. I think Eagle Griffin Games makes it. I have no idea what it looks like. It may be nice. This is one I think from the 80s that I picked up because I like the gemstones. I thought they looked nice. And then 3M Games has a beautiful set. I think Norm from the Board Game Museum reviewed it if you want to take a look at it. But it's another beautiful set of the same game, Bazaar. Now, I don't know how the rules differ from his copy and mine. It's been a while since I've seen that video. But I do know that this is an extremely fun game and cheap online, surprisingly. Even if you want the new version, I think Eagle Griffin has it on sale. But would I recommend Bazaar? Yes, definitely. For the same reason I told you. I think there is a lot of strategy in there, and it is fun trading gems and trying to get those cards and trying to build up and get the most points. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on.